Yeah, it was good to get a win Saturday versus a Southern Miss team that is a lot better than their record shows. And we didn't play our best, and we have yet to put together 60 minutes of complementary football in all three phases: offense, defense, special teams. But we're excited to play at home this weekend again this weekend in front of our fans, in front of our students, against a very good Marshall football team. And it's going to be nationally televised on the NFL Network. Two great programs. Two passionate fan bases. They'll travel well. Our fans will show up, so we're looking forward to playing a physical game on Marshall. We know that they're going to come in ready to play, and we look forward to the challenge.
David Ware, 24/7 Sports. Sean, can you give us an update on injury status? A couple players that left the game during, and then anything you're looking at going into this week.
Yeah, injury-wise, Nate Noel, he practiced this past week, and he went into the game, and I think he got 3 or 4 plays and didn't feel right. So we want to make sure Nate's at his very best again to play. So he didn't play. I think Jordan Thornton Gentry went out with an ankle injury. He was back at practice yesterday. We think he'll be fine. Marcus Clark has been evaluated by the doctors. We should have an answer this afternoon. And then just returning, Anderson Castle's back. He'll play this week and throughout the rest of the season.
You touched on this, kind of briefly after the game on Saturday. Can you go back through and kind of talk about the sequence right there at the end of the game? First, the play where you threw the ball to Christian Horn for the touchdown, and then the decision to take a knee on the extra point.
Yeah, you go back to, I believe you're talking about the last drive there. It was third down, and we threw the little play action pass to Eli Wilson, the sideline. If he doesn't fumble, it's a first down. The game's there to take a knee. But it didn't happen. I believe there was 13 seconds remaining on the clock. We're up 4, and if you kick a field goal, they still score a touchdown. They can still go for 2 to win the football game. So our thought process was to throw the ball in the end zone. You have a 50-50 chance of getting pass interference or a touchdown, and that's what we did. I mean, we sequenced. We have a play. If there's 9 seconds, there was too much time on the clock. So we thought our best chance to win the football game was make it a 2-possession game. And that's what we did. And then there at the end, we're up 10. So only bad things can happen to you. If you block a field goal, extra point, they run it back. Now it's a 1-possession game. So took a knee. Then I believe there was 7 or 8 seconds left, and our defense got him on the ground at the end of the game. So just part of the game plan. That's the game within the game. And I thought our kids understood what we were doing and executed it well.
Visiting the defensive side of the ball, as you guys had a chance to maybe go back and review the film, what were some of the things that you see as correctable, especially for some of the explosive plays that were taking place in the running game?
Yeah, that's one thing that we've talked about all year. It's in our defense, if one player misfits his gap, can be a long play. And you go back to the opening second half, we got out and scored a touchdown, and they get the ball back in the next play, they go 80 yards for a touchdown. So that's just a misfit, but again, we can't have those kind of plays and expect to win week in and week out. I mean, we were tallied for 15 explosive plays. Really, the rushing is what really gets you. It's a 75-yard run, a 43, a 42. And we can't continue to do those. I know Coach Sloan and the staffs were here late last night in order to get it fixed, and I know we will. But those were just things, misfitting, again, some young players on the defensive side of the ball. I know we're in the week 8, but a lot of these players is their first year playing. So we'll get those corrected, and we're going to have to, because Marshall's going to run the football this week, and if we don't, it could be a long night.
You've talked all year about big plays on your offensive side of the ledger, and obviously you were able to offset some of what they did on Saturday with explosives. I think you had a dozen 20-plus plays on Saturday. What kind of broke open there? Because that was something you've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, we talked about winning the explosive battle. We didn't. We had 14 explosive plays, and Southern Miss had 17. But I think Joey, having more command of the offense now, getting a better rhythm, better feel for it, that we can really put stress on people in the passing game. I think our receivers played very well. I thought they caught the ball well at times and ran the right routes. The good thing is we have multiple receivers can be the go-to guy. I mean, then you look the week before, Caden Robinson has the most catches. This past weekend, Christian Horn has the most catches. catches. You look at Deshaun Davis, who had a long touchdown pass, and Milan Tucker, who's really come into his own right now. So we do have some big threat capability, and that's going to help us to open up the run game. I mean, teams are going to load the box and make us throw it. Now we're getting to the point now Joey can make them pay for it when it happens.
Marvin Parker, WLOS Asheville. Can you just describe, football's a 4-quarter game, but second quarter was a lot different than that fourth quarter going into the half and then ending the game last Saturday. Can you just break down your mindset going into the half and then the different nature of ending the game?
Yeah, we talk about finishing and playing well in the fourth quarter. We've done that all year long for the most part of both offense and defense playing well in the fourth quarter. You talk about coming in at halftime, we're down 10. Our kids were calm. They got the adjustments we had to get made, and they came out and made some plays toward the end of the third quarter and throughout the fourth. So, again, a very resilient group. Things went the wrong way, and our kids said we had enough, and they kept digging and gave us a chance to win in the fourth quarter.
I see here that last time a Saturday night game was played here at Kitt Brewer was almost a decade ago. Just the nature of this year having a Tuesday game, variations of games, and then the crowds in the last 2 years, and especially what you probably expect Saturday.
Yeah, we're very blessed to have the support we have with our programming. It starts with our students. I mean, anytime you have 10,000 students to about every home game, that's important. So thank you, students. And then our fan base. They travel well. They come to the home games. They show their support. But again, you talked about having a night game. We're excited for that, to have a 6 o'clock start on the NFL Network, another chance to put our program on the national stage. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And again, we're excited for the opportunity. I mean, you only have 4 more opportunities guaranteed to you. So it's one we can't take for granted. So it's going to be an exciting time here on the NFL Network.
And then for QB Joey Aguilar, for someone who started as QB2, immediately had to jump into that starting role and has just been performing, leading the conference in a lot of numbers, just how do you assess his season so far, taking the mantle of QB2 to QB1 immediately and handling it?
I think a lot of credit goes to Joey and the way he prepares on a weekly basis. Not much affects Joey. Joey's the same person if he scores a touchdown or something bad happens. And I think that plays into who he is, and it keeps a calm feeling throughout our football team. But again, he's getting better week in and week out. He's throwing the correct reads. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick. I think our offensive line and tight ends are blocking well for him. So there's a lot more room for improvement, but I know this one, he looks forward to the challenge. I mean, if you see Joey at practice, nothing phases him. And he's just a gunslinger, likes to throw the football, and again, he's a lot of fun to coach. And again, he'll get better as the year goes on.
500 overall, 500 in conference. November is here, so the last crunch of the season. What's the motivation for the team? How are you guys grinding day in and day out? I see on the door it's 1-0, but these final games, what is the motivation?
Well, it's a 1-0 mentality, and there's no quote in football, they remember November. So it's about how about you finish. We talk about all the time here in our program is, how are you going to finish? And this is a great opportunity. Again, we're not looking ahead. Again, our main focus, or our sole focus, is on Marshall. We know what kind of program they have with Coach Huff, and Coach Huff's done a great job there. His team, the way he recruits, the way they play, they have an identity to them, who they're going to be, and again, but it's a 1-0 mentality, and it's only Marshall, and that's all we're thinking about.
And then lastly for me, just how was homecoming week, and then being able to provide a thriller? I know you don't want it to be a thriller on homecoming, but how was homecoming week?
No, it's great. Anytime you're an alum and you get people to come back to home, and I talked about this in our press conference after the game, that's what makes Appalachian State so special. And people come back to our home games, people come back for homecoming. This is where it all started for them, so it was great to give them a victory. We're proud to get a big win. I don't care, a win is a win, but they're all big. But again, I'm glad we get that for our fans.
Coach, I guess it's been an annual question for the last couple of years of just what it means for App State to be playing Marshall on an annual basis again. And I guess with some roster turnover and new guys on the team too, do you have to explain at all what this series means, and just what does it mean to you?
I think in 2020, we played there during COVID. We had to explain to our players about the rivalry. We tried to show them old clips from the 90s, playing in Huntington, playing here in Boone. But there's no explaining anymore. They know what kind of program Marshall has. Again, it's a great game for college football. It's one of the best games in all of college football. And again, I'm glad we're able to continue to play us on a year in and year out basis. So it's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday evening.
Can you share a little bit about what impresses you about, I guess, Marshall's offense first off?
Again, they have great play. Starts with their running back and their offensive line with Ali and the big physical offensive line. Coach Legg does a great job with them up front. They have big tight ends that can really load you up and run right downhill at you. And then the quarterback with Fancher, and then Pennington came in late in the game this past weekend. Both are great quarterbacks. They can beat you with their feet. They get the ball in their hands quick, and they can extend plays. And that's what you worry about on defense. Quarterbacks that extend plays and get the ball down the field. So, again, great football team. You watch them early in the season, they're a great football team. You watch them, even though they've had a few losses here in the last few weeks, they're a great football team. And we have to do our job preparing all week to give ourselves a chance to win on Saturday.
I think beat one ACC team right down to the wire with another one. Defensively, I know they can be hard to run on and physical, like you said. Just can you kind of also offer a little bit of breakdown of what they look like on defense?
Yeah, they're big up front. They are, and Owen Porter, I know he's he is their leader on defense. I love the way he plays. He plays with intensity, and he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. This past weekend, he had a cast on his hand. I'm sure it'll be off by the time we play him. But this is the way they run the football. I mean, they come downhill. They play physical. They have great corners. They're good in the safety position. Their linebackers are fast. They can run. So. Again, it's a great football team. Again, things haven't went their way the last few weeks, but I know Coach Huff will have his team ready to play. And that's our job as coach here to make sure our guys are ready to play. It's going to be a great college atmosphere. Again, on a way to put our program on a national stage on the NFL Network, and it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Last one from me. I think Kanye, after the game Saturday, talked about just the patience that kind of came into play on that touchdown run, and just I feel like for any young back in this system, there's striking that balance of hitting the hole or being patient with that kind of blocking scheme. What challenges do young backs face, and what are some of the teaching points to get them to maximize how they perform in that system?
Well, it's with our zone schemes, we have the outside zone, inside zone, and there's different reads you have on different plays. And you go back, I think early in the game we weren't patient enough to let the offensive line do their job to give you a hole. And as the game went on, we talked to them, be patient, look at your reads, and when the read's there, put your foot in the ground and go north. And I think that happened on really two instances on Kanye's, on the one he cut back across the field for a first down, and then the one he scored on, I thought he did excellent as reading his keys. When the hole was there, he accelerated, and then it was just off to the races. So he's getting better week in and week out. Again, we forget he's a redshirt freshman. We expect big things from him with Nate down. Again, that running back room is deep. Again, you get a chance to add Anderson Castle back to the equation, and it makes us that much stronger.